Let's do it. Knick fans, welcome to an episode of Delusional Knick Fan Network, where we bring you that Knicks content that you need. Ladies and gents, we finally have it. Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks has finally come to the crossroads where they decided, look, it's best that we go our separate ways, and Milwaukee is now listening to offers for multiple teams. Knicks being one of the teams, as expected. As over the summer, we did hear a little rumbling that Giannis wanted to come to the Knicks. Also hearing the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat. To kind of throw the Warriors out there, I'm hearing that the Warriors are the team that can straight up trade for Giannis without having additional teams involved. As regarding the Knicks, we don't have no draft capital this year to trade at this moment. We do at the end of the season. But that's a situation where they need to wait. We don't know if Milwaukee's in a situation that they want to wait. But Golden State kind of might have that league right now. But let's talk about Giannis as an individual, him first. You're talking multi-all-star, two-time MVP. This is a player that you go and get, right? This is a player that you need on your team. Someone who averaged 30, 10, and 5 in his sleep. Who's still technically in his prime. I believe Giannis is 31 years old. Still in his prime. Is this a player that we should go out for? It's yes. It's 100%. If you are the Knicks and you're looking to win a championship and championship is on your mind, Giannis has been a consistent player on both ends of the floor. 11 rebounds, averaging for the last 5 years. A block a game. 5 assists. 30 points. When was the last time the Knicks had a big to average 30 and 11? Now, granted, we got Cat putting up 11 rebounds. You know, he's giving you, 21, 22 points right now. But on the defensive end is where Cat is lacking. But for me, if I'm the Knicks, do I make this trade right now before the trade deadline? I won't do it. I won't do it. Big task at hand. What it do? What it do? Look, it's always something with the Knicks. Big task at hand. Knicks are always in the mix, but with Giannis, this is something that we should be. Definitely anxious to see what happens at the trade deadline, but what I was stating is if I'm the Knicks, I will hold my horses. I would literally hold my horses right now. I will put an offer out. I will see what Milwaukee's looking to have out there. But I would switch it up. I would switch it up and see what they want, because 28, 10, and 5 is a player that you definitely need on your team. But who are we giving up? It's another question. Who are we giving up? Because we can't trade straight up. We don't have the draft capital. So we would have to get another team involved. And you hear it through the grapevine that the Portland Trailblazers is interested in Mikal. When Mikal, is that a player that I'm willing to give up as well? Now, granted, we see certain games where he doesn't show up. But on the defensive end, Mikal is there. He's always in a high plus minus with the Knicks when he plays with us. I don't know if I move on from Mikal. But then to bring in Drew Holiday at that. Now, Drew, if we're talking, 2020 Drew, when they won a chip, of course. See, big task at hand. Always been smart. Knicks should not trade for Giannis because to make a request to play for another team is not considered professional in the workplace. Okay, so you're going that route. I don't know about that route, big task at hand. If Giannis want to force his way to the Knicks, I'm totally fine with that. We've seen players force their way out to go. But I still can't see Giannis really forcing himself out, because you're hearing news that he technically still didn't request a trade. So I think he's still professional. I think Giannis is still professional, but big task at hand. You want to sit there and worry about being professional, or you want to hoist that Larry O'Brien at the end of the season or any point of the Knicks tenure? Look, I'm 36. Big task at hand. I personally haven't seen I personally haven't seen the Knicks win a championship. Right? I am willing to do what it takes to get a chip, whether it's a player forcing his way out, whether it's behind the back trade aspects or something that's not deemed professional. I'll do it. Forgive me, I'm that type of person. I was fortunate enough to see my Giants win 2 championships. So I'm good with that. And the feeling that I had with the Giants winning the chip, for me, would be 20 times more with the Knicks. 20 times more. But let's kind of get back into the trade, because I'm only going to be here for a short period of time. I want to prepare for my stream later on. But, right, in order for the Knicks to bring in Giannis, it will have to be a multi-team trade. So that means that the Knicks will have to move Mikal to the Portland Trail Blazers to bring back Drew Holiday. And Drew Holiday, I believe, is 35. See, look, you with me, big task at hand. You are with me. But Drew Holiday is, I believe, 35 or 36, who makes over 30 million, and he has 2 more years left, right? I believe the reason why Boston kind of moved on for him was that budget. But then, of course, he took a step back. You forgot Jalen Brunson gave him the business in that playoff series. And he was the main defender. So if our guy Brunson, who is a superstar, is putting in work on Drew, and Drew only averaged like 13 to 15 during that time period with Boston, we need more. Now, granted, defensive-wise, it'd be awesome to pair him with Brunson. I'm not going to lie, if he was on the minimum contract. But that's something I won't do right now. The Knicks is already in turmoil with trying to figure out the system and how it make it work. You get rid of a bulk of the guys to bring in 2 additional guys in the mid-year, and to give us the push to get into the championships. I don't think that could happen. I don't think that can happen. It was only one mid-season trade that made sense to where a team went to the finals and won it, and that was the Detroit Pistons, where they did the mid-season trade for Rasheed Wallace. I don't remember any other trade mid-season that worked. And Rasheed was kind of in his latter year, so it wasn't prime Trailblazers Rasheed. So if I'm the Knicks, wait till the summertime. But just looking at the stats, looking at the numbers, it's tough. Especially James Dolan. James Dolan loves shiny things. And Giannis is a shiny thing. I'm not going to lie. But then let's bring up injury history. Giannis is currently out with a calf injury. That calf injury could potentially turn into what? An Achilles issue. And Giannis has been out multiple times with the calf. Very explosive. Very athletic. He based his game on athleticism and power. Now, granted, Knicks have the #1 medical staff in the league. So, Big Task at Hand said, I remember during the bubble season, Drew Holiday was my favorite point guard in the world, in the whole league. But now he's past his prime, and the Knicks should not trade for him. I'm with you. Especially the money, right? The money's too much. If he was making 20 mil and you trade him for Yabusele and some other pieces, cool. But not for Mikal. His defense is not to the par as Drew Holiday in his prime, But what Mikal do on a daily basis as being available, he hasn't missed a game. Now, that could be a gift and a curse for Mikal, but he hasn't missed a game. Right? He's shooting 50% from the field, 40 from 3 right now. I believe that's what he's doing. Let me pull up Mikal Bridges real quick in the NBA. I want to make sure I'm stating facts with Mikal. One second. Let me search. Here we go. Give me a second. Do they even got his field goal percentage up right now? Let's see. All right. Let's switch over. Let's bring up Mikal and his percentage right now. All right, this year Mikal's obviously averaging 15 points, playing 34 minutes a game, as expected from Mikal. All right, 49 from the field, 39.2 from three-point range. So technically, we rounding up. I like to round up. I'm not rounding down. Mikal is shooting 50-40 right now. That's tough. That's tough to lose. And Mikal is 6'6", great wingspan. I'm not ready to move on from Mikal right now. Maybe in the offseason, that's something different. Right? Can't forget the playoffs games that Mikal played with us last year. 2 defensive stops to close the game out. Now, with certain games where Mikal don't show up now, but that's just the new system. First year in the new system. Got to give them some time. Which is why, let's see how this year plan out. I would not make the trade right now. I would wait. Because I don't think Milwaukee is going to move him right now. When they know they could get more during the summer. It just don't make sense. I don't think it makes sense. I don't. Jokes aside, Giannis is a great player, but the Knicks should not trade for Giannis at all, basketball-wise. It would not work offensively. You know, you brought up a good point, because look at the system. Look at the system that Mike Brown is running right now. Even Cat is having problems in the system. And we thought Cat would have been great, but it's a lot of dribble handoffs, right? There's a lot of working at the top of the key. Now, Giannis is a pick and roll guy. He does a lot of dribble handoffs as well, but he's ball dominant. Who else is ball dominant? Jalen Brunson. But we also know Brunson can play off ball, which is why I'm still intrigued by the pairing. I would be even more intrigued if it'll hurt, but if we can keep Giannis, we can get Giannis, get Cat. If we could get keep Cat, have Giannis and Brunson, that big three, that's something to look at. Because of the space in the Cat. Cat can be on the 4. Giannis can play that 5. Brunson man in the floor. But once again, with the system that we have, I don't know if it could work. We are all speculating. Says Giannis raises the defense rating of the Knicks drastically. Definitely would. But the Knicks would take a big hit from the three-point line. As Giannis, we definitely know that. He's not a good shooter. He's definitely not a good shooter. Which means what? They can trap more on Brunson. But then, they're not going to leave Giannis alone. So, and we know that the coaching staff, the coach, not technically will adjust the scheme for his players. Because look at Cat. We figured let's adjust the scheme for Cat and he could dominate. But Cat is having issues. So you think would Giannis have issues in this situation if he's brought on a team? Because if you look, a lot of his highlights, Giannis is going ISO ball. They're spacing the floor for Giannis, for him to go to work. They're relying on him to pretty much produce all the offense. That's not the system that we run here. All right, so that's a big thing. How can Giannis fit in the system? It's a lot of question marks, which is why I would wait. We already have, I wouldn't say we have bench issues now, because we have the players. They're just, trying to figure it out. Clarkson is on the end of the bench right now. Yabusele potentially in trades with him and Pacome Dadier. So even if you do make this trade, who's going to be on the Knicks after? Who else is going to be on the team to propel us to the playoffs, to keep us healthy to get to the playoffs and beyond into the finals? So there's a lot of tasks right now with the trade talk. Like I said, I would stay pat. I would at least fill some offers. I would throw something out there. Hey, we could give you Cat. We could give you the Wizards protected pick, which is 2 second rounds, which is still a highly coveted pick. You get your early second round pick. That's still something. Jokic was a second round pick. Right? A lot of great players with second round picks. Maybe they are intrigued with that. I will fill the offers at the moment. I just don't know if I would do it. I just don't. You got Mikal is averaging 15. Cat right now still 20-11. The shooting is not there, but I think eventually it will come back. I think it will. Once the trade deadline is done. Because that's weighing on Cat. That is definitely on his brain. You could tell how he was posting up Russ last night that it was on his brain. Because he didn't go nowhere. So to ease his mind. So this is a real fork in the road moment with all this trade talk. We'll see. It is. And all it is just putting more pressure on an organization to try to produce a winning team, right? It's a lot of pressure. Then you bring Giannis, who's a strong personality, very strong, very outspoken, with a coach like Mike Brown, who does the same. And that's been the issue for Mike Brown, is how outspoken he is about players and throwing them under the bus. So, what's up? Let me see what Big Task at Hand said really quickly. Let me look over here. It says, low-key, I like Mike Brown as a coach. The way he showed in the rotation is the most productive player. Was a great adjustment. I agree. I like how he's holding Cat accountable, lesser in his minutes. Well, he wasn't producing. He definitely wasn't. So, he definitely wasn't. But then, shortening the bench, we shorted the bench. Now Clarkson, look at Clarkson. Clarkson is sitting on the outside right now. Clarkson's on the outside. And that's a player that I was really happy to bring here. Now, hopefully he has the personality to sit there and still root for the team. Do not bring, a cloud over it, because we don't need that right now. Right? So there's a lot going on in the locker room. So adding this will only make it worse. It will only make it worse. Which I think these trade rumors are making the locker room a little tight as well. Because Cat know that Brunson will sign off on a Giannis trade. He knows that. He knows that. And I think that Cat know that his Knick tenure is numbered. Whether it's at the trade deadline or in the offseason, or when his contract extension is up. So we got all the above going on with us. So, and Big Tash, that Cat post up is, seeing that yesterday with Cat trying to, they literally had Rust on Cat. I felt so disrespected. Then I'm like, okay, Nick should run the offense through Cat. Let him post up, get into the paint. And what happened? He couldn't even move Russ. 6'3", 6'3" Russ. Couldn't move Russ. After that, I was like, yeah, we got to move him. I said, yeah, we got to move him. But obviously, I come to my senses, and it's like, yeah, no, we need to keep Cat right now, right? The system can work. Let's develop a great bench. Let's make the push. Cat in the Detroit series was great for us. In the Boston series was still good. I didn't forget that. Then, of course, the knee injury against Indy, we were burnt by that time period. We were burnt. So we'll see. Like you said, it's just rumors right now, and Knicks, we love the rumors. We love being in certain aspects, especially when there's top 10 players involved. And we already have one with Brunson. If we could have 2 top 10 players in the summertime, go for it. Let's do it. Then we're able to build around that during the summer. And Mike Brown can have a say-so of who he wants on the team, who could fit the system. Because then we're going to need a big, right? We're going to need a big. Do you pair Giannis and Mitch? How does that work? Defensively, that's great, but what about the spacing? How does it work? But then you will want to bring Mitch back as well. So that money plays a role. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Big Tassel Hand says, see, it's one thing for the fans to call Cat soft, but that's the talk around amongst his peers in the league. Oh, totally. I was watching Gilbert Arenas' show earlier today, and they didn't even call him Karl Anthony Towns or Cat. They just kept meowing. Meow, meow. That's crazy. And they brought up the Russ situation, so there's definitely that. But if I'm the Knicks, I would stay pat. I would draw up a game plan for the summertime. Like you said, we will be able to have 2 draft picks during the summer, which can hopefully sweeten the deal, possibly move the Washington pick that we have, which will be highly coveted second-round picks. I believe the Knicks have 10 second-round picks. I'll wait it through. But appreciate you guys being here, rocking with me. I only wanted to be here for a short stint of time period, as I'm gonna prepare for the Toronto Raptors game tonight. Knicks are without certain players, so I'm definitely gonna go live to see with that. D Millie was good. Just got in here. What would you be willing to give up for Greek Freak? D Millie. I'm torn. For me, I think I would stay pat right now. I wouldn't do anything right now. I would see the team through, try to make minor trades with the Yabusele, bring in maybe a Sohan from Sacramento, and kind of go forward with that. But in the summertime, let's do the deal. Let's definitely do the deal during the summer. You keeping a demon OG, right? We keep it OG. That's one thing. Mikal, we can move Mikal. You can move Cat. Maybe do a sign and trade with Mitch, because I can't see us bringing Mitch back without going over the second apron. But those are the players that I'm willing to move. Maybe a Kolick, maybe a Pacome Dowdier. But you have to keep OG. You keep OG and Brunson and Giannis. That's the core. Because you're going to need someone to defend. Mikal, I like Mikal. But he's frail. We saw DeMar DeRozan go to work last game. Put up, 20, 25, I think he put up like 23 or 24 in the first half. Right? You said send Cat back to Minnesota. said give up OG, Miles, and Josh. That's like I said, OG, man, is tough. OG is tough. Oh, Mikal, okay, yeah. It's tough. It's a tough situation. Which is why I don't think things get done now. Because it's a short window. For Milwaukee to just give Giannis away at this short window time period, I don't think it's going to happen. They're going to do it in the summer where they can sit down, listen to all offers. They can see where the draft is at, where teams pick in the draft. So they can understand to see where they can pick. So I think everything is going to be on hold right now. They're just fielding offers. And then we also heard that Giannis came out and didn't request a trade. You know, he didn't personally come out. This is just the organization fielding offers. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. But if you the Knicks, you definitely, prepare something, but with the mindset of the summertime being the main location of where you want to move on. Because you got to move on from Cat. I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you, D. Millie. This is what we had. Interaction, talking. Like I said, I'm just a Knicks fan that want to talk hoops. That like to talk hoops. But it's you guys that I do it for. I truly enjoy having conversations, talking my ball. Very knowledgeable fans. That's one thing about whether you're a Knicks fan or not. They're very knowledgeable people about the sports of basketball. So why not get your voice, and your words out there as well, and we could definitely talk ball. But totally. Hold on, let me get Wendy off of here, because that's definitely the next video. But appreciate y'all rocking and rolling with me. We're definitely going to pick up probably in another half an hour, where we got a solid game coming up. Toronto Raptors against the Knicks. And I'm hearing that Mitch is not playing a back-to-back tonight. I'm hearing Deuce with the ankle sprain, which makes sense. Deuce was like 1 for 6 from 3 last night. Definitely did knock down those crucial threes. So that's going to be a little thing. Since we're going to have to start our own little nightcap over here. I'm with it. Hold on, though. Are you Unk, though? And I'm Ocho? I'd rather be Ocho, if you don't mind being Unk. Ocho wild. Right? I want to be controversial on our nightcap. As long as you don't mind being I could be Ocho. come to the show all late and stuff. And throw on my shades. I don't mind. But definitely I appreciate y'all. Thank you for rocking with me on this short stint live about Giannis. We will definitely pick it back up on to the next one. My God, Knicks Deli, what it do? Hold up, I gotta come right back real quick. Knicks Deli, what it do? That's my guy. What do you think, though, bro? What do you think? We are always in some news, always about Giannis. I was about to say, I don't think I've seen anything up with you yet about the trade. What's going on? I'm waiting outside the deli, knocking up like, yo, what's going on? But definitely, Knicks Deli put out amazing content. I'm about to say it's definitely been a minute though. I want to say I haven't really seen a lot of the Knicks Deli content up. I gotta double check. I don't know if you took a little break for a second. Let me see. Always got my Knicks Deli. Hold up. Let me see real quick. Man, hopefully we get him. Oh, okay, so you want Giannis. I know for a fact we can get him. Yo, bro, I'm driving back to the BX. Okay, going live tomorrow. All right, perfect. Like I said, I always tune in. I definitely tune in. So, like I said, yeah, I'm looking for a while. I know you've been dropping your shorts. Definitely dropping the shorts. But yeah, now you gotta go live. You gotta go live. Nick Killer, what it do? NYC Killer. Everyone besides Brunson and OG can go 100%. Okay. But I'm with you. Brunson and OG, gotta keep Brunson and OG. We gotta keep Brunson and OG. I'm with you on that. That's 100%. Someone gonna have to defend. You got Giannis. OG can still guard on the perimeter. Giannis could hold down the paint, right? And OG, systematic player, someone that could be in the corner, knock it down, doing it. So it's perfect. Yeah, fan personal stuff. I we here with you, my brother. Definitely prayers. Make sure you get out of that pretty good. But like I said, yeah, no. Like I said, you one of the guys that got me into doing content. So that's why I was like, I was about to say I knew I wasn't tripping when I said I haven't really seen some of the content coming out. But I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. But Nick Killer, NYC Killer, 100%. It will have to be Mikal. So think of it as this: if we don't get him now, we're gonna have to go into the second apron and can't resign Robinson, and that's gonna be really bad. But Nick Killer though, you will still bring Mitch back. Mitch is gonna want money. We're gonna get into the apron regardless of what we do, I believe, in order to bring Giannis in, because we're gonna have to move Mikal. Mikal is gone, right? We keep OG. OG gonna be making about 45, 47 million. Giannis is already in the 50, right? But then don't forget, we got Deuce coming up as well. We're gonna have to figure out the situation with Deuce. We're gonna have a bunch of guys on veteran minimums. So it's going to be tough. And I will go into the second apron if it means that we can get Giannis. We can still keep OG, still have Brunson with a mix of, Deuce there, bring in Mitch, right? We can figure some way. We got Gershon, was it Rocha stuff? He says, nah, we can't sign Mitch after the off season and Giannis is not going to work. Okay. Okay. Like I said, I definitely need to do more research on trying to figure that out if the numbers work. Usually Bobby Marks. I usually wait till Bobby Marks put stuff up and chat with him on that aspect. But it's I think the trade is going to be hard regardless, right? Because Milwaukee want trade assets, right? They want draft picks, excuse me, right? Knicks can't trade until the summer to where they are able to trade back-to-back picks. Now I forgot what picks they have available, but they can do that. Then you can the draft picks that we have with no, of course, of course, of course, of course. No, it's all love. It's all love. Yeah. But the draft picks, this is why Portland going to come in. Right. So correct. Portland has Milwaukee draft picks, which the Mikal situation is moving Mikal over there, right? But then are you trying to bring in Drew Holiday? NYC Killer. That's my thing. Drew Holiday. Am I willing to bring on what 35, 36-year-old Drew Holiday who makes 35 million for the next, I want to say, 2 years? Let's look at let's go to Hoops Hypes real quick. All right, that's where I like to go look at my team payrolls and the budget and everything. Let's go to Trailblazers. Oh my God, Drew Holiday is the high paid player right now. Right, Drew Holiday, 25, 26, 32.4. Then he has 34.8. And then, of course, is the player option. He has a player option for 37. So you could trade him later on. He's like, yo, get him here. If it gets us Giannis, bring him here. Bring him here. I'm looking at Drew. Hold on, let me pull up player info for Drew. Drew 6'4", 205. Drew's 35. 35. Right now, I don't know. I don't know if I make that move. But then if we're still under the apron, what is the bench going to look like? His contract is tough wild. It's true. It's not like we get in Ronaldo Balkman. Oh, don't even bring that name up. Good Lord. Don't even bring that name up. That's funny. Don't even bring that name up. But 38-year-old Chauncey. Wait, that year we got Chauncey. He was averaging 19. It was a half a year. But he got amnestied the following year. Chauncey was all right. Chauncey was all right. He's like, nah. Look, I enjoyed Chauncey. Chauncey was all right when Chauncey was here. That half a season. Then he got amnestied up out of here. But, I mean, Drew, great defender. But is he still the same caliber player that can be your frontline defender against the Tyrese Maxey? Against the VJ Excombe, against the Shea. Shit, I don't even think Mikal and OG is up to that par anyway. So, maybe Drew can be helpful. He could still be helpful. And like you said, you could possibly trade him later on after we win the championship. I like how you thinking. That could be a possible situation. That could be it. But, and I hear you, 28, 10, and 5, it's tough to pass on. Let me see. Do I have Giannis stats up? I want to just pull up, because the games played is going to be a pivotal aspect as well, right? Look. Last year, Giannis played 67 games. Right? 67 games. The year before that, he played 73, then 63, then 67, 61, 63. So, it's one thing about Cat. Cat played a good amount of games last year. Right? Mikal, we're moving on Mikal. Mikal played all 82. And you're right. I mean, that's box office for the Knicks as well, too. Look, tickets going up. Just Knicks, what it do? Yeah, let's pull up Cats. Let's pull up Cat's number real quick and see how many games he played. Because I want to say Cat played a lot. So, McKay said, salute. Says, Mikal doesn't like to get touched. I'm going to be honest with you. He doesn't attack the paint like I want him to attack the paint. I'm going to be completely honest with you with Mikal. I remember last night, when he drove to the paint, it felt like he hesitated for a second. I'm like, yo, come on, Mikal. Come on. Let's go to player stats. Give me 1 second. Says Cat highlights. What we talking about? Cat highlights really quick. Cat got some highlights. I'm just not showing he's a fruit. Yeah, no, we were talking about the post up on Russ last night. It's ridiculous. Like, that was the breaking point for me, where I was like, yeah, nah, Cat, something got to go. You 6'11", you can't post down a player that's 6'2" or 6'3". Now, granted, Russ is an athlete, legit brute force, but come on. Come on. Let's see. Let's pull up. Let's go to Carl. I keep putting Cat in the NBA thing. Like, nah, it's Carl Anthony Towns. Since when he gets fouls, he's always like, "Oh my God, yes." But he does get They don't give him the call. Hold on, you said you didn't read what I wrote under it. Hold on. Let me pop it up. Let me pop it up and see which one you're talking about. He's won a chip. How many Cats played? Salute, salute. We know this. Cat highlights. Oh my God, he's a fruit pop. You say he's a fruit pop? No, definitely. Look, Cat last year played 72. Played 72 with the Knicks his first year. I mean, he played 62 the year before that, 29, played 74, 50, 33. So, I mean, he's on the verge. He's on the verge of going up and down with his stats, similar to Giannis. But since he's been with the Knicks, I'm only going to talk about, once he's been with the Knicks, he's been pretty available. It's been pretty available. And so far, playing 43 games. I want to say he only missed maybe 1 or 2 games. So we'll see. We'll see. He said he's nesty. He said he's not even zesty. He nesty. That is crazy. But Killer, appreciate you rocking with us. Just Knicks. Everyone here. I'm about to switch over and get it popping to the live stream, so you definitely could pull up while we talk more Knicks basketball against the Toronto Raptors. We could definitely talk about the trade more over there, but I need to set up the stream for the next one. So I appreciate you guys. We're gonna switch. He said, "Watch this." Now switch over to Killer. I'm gonna get it rolling because I gotta set up the stream and hook it up. But I appreciate you rocking and rolling with me. I appreciate y'all. On to the next one. He said, wait. Before you end the stream, watch this. What are we watching? What do you mean? Watch what? What am I watching, though? Talk to me. We here. Talk to me. Talk to me. No, talk to me. I'm here. I'm trying to figure out what to watch. And then I'm going to switch over. Let me see. We got the chat. This. Copy and paste this. Copy and paste. All right, nothing popped up. I didn't get a link yet. Okay, copy. Sending the link. He's sending the link. We got to take a look. I got to take a look first before I put it up. I got to make sure, it's just nothing too crazy that we can at least put up. But in the meantime, we are talking Giannis trade. Is that something the Knicks should do? Should we stay away from, or just wait till the summertime? Which I think is the best idea, is to wait till the summer. I will wait till the summer. Knicks will have more chips on the table, more draft capital. Right? We can work out the bench as well. So I'm still waiting. For the link. So, and where you sending the link? You gonna put the link in the chat? I'm assuming, but so I will wait. But then they're saying Golden State. Golden State is a team to look out because they can actually trade straight up. They have pieces. They have the Kuminga. Golden State have all their draft picks. Yeah, so it's not showing up on my end, the links. It's not showing up. Yeah, they did not send the link. All right, well, until next time, I'm gonna probably check it. Now I'm telling you, Golden State have their draft picks, right? Of course, they don't have nothing that the Bucks won. I get that. I'm just saying from a pieces standpoint, what the NBA is saying around what Bobby Marks stated that they have Kuminga, they got Jimmy Butler, they got pieces, all their picks. So we'll see. But on to the next. I'm going to get the stream started for the live because I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be a great game. Certain players is out, but I think the Knicks will still prevail. But on to the next one. Appreciate you guys. We out here.